Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Allison and I post fun and functional plan with me videos in my Erin Condren planners. Today we are planning out the month of March in my A5 Daily Duo, and I'm using this kit from Planner Kate. It is 810. I think it was called Rainy Reads, and it is so pretty. It's not my typical March kit. Usually I choose whatever kind of St. Patrick's theme that she has. However, I thought this was really pretty, and so I wanted to pick this one up instead. So I was like the little rain boots, the books, the umbrellas. It's just super cute. So that is what we are working with today. I have this main sheet 1. I have sheet 2. And then I went ahead and picked up the thin washi this week or this month. I don't know what I should be saying here, but and I was going to use it for my dashboard and monthly pages like that, and I likely still will, but I also was thinking it would be really good because we have some out of town stuff in March, and then we have spring break, and so I don't know, I thought it'd be cute to have extra washi to mark those items as well. So I'm glad I went ahead and grabbed that. And I think that is it for today's setup. That's all we need. And so let's open up here to the month of March. I guess I can go ahead and show you. Here's February. Really pretty. I loved this cherry kit. The cherry hearts. Beautiful. This is a lot of red and pink though, and I'm excited to turn a new page and move into this like blues and yellows and just a lot more springy vibes. I'm really excited for this. So let's go ahead and get started here. And I don't think I need to write anything out. I'm loving that about this planner. I purchased the, it's the floral version. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's much more muted tones. So it's not quite the minimal, like black and white neutral type planner, but it does not have all of the bright Erin Condren colors, which I do love. I've used those for several years, but I am excited for a little bit of the break this year. That is pretty close to being perfect. I'll take it. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay these down. And I do like to use keep this as a Sunday start. So with Planner Kate, you can choose, because she makes these separate stickers. You can choose if you like Sunday or Monday. I still keep a Sunday start in this planner, and I just like it that way. Kind of the way my brain works. Even though I love that my week starts on a Monday. I like to have Sunday still on this monthly. And this is so cute. Adorable. Love it. All right, let's move over to this side. And of course, I have to turn it upside down. Perfect. I don't know why I'm so bad about turning it upside down. There we go. And then I like to use this month over here because I do use this sidebar, but you don't have to. You could put that anywhere. Okay, so now that I've got that part laid down, I'm going to go ahead and do my washi on the side. And I think this one's not my favorite, even though the colors match really well. I think I'm going to use this one. I like this one just a tad bit more. So let's go ahead and do it. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay this down before I cut that washi so I know exactly where to trim it. It doesn't always go all the way to the end here, so there we go. See, it's just slightly off. So let's trim that washi. Perfect. And I'll save that because I usually use that in another spot. All right, that's coming together so nicely. I love it. All right, let's do the same washi on this side. Perfect. That is super cute. Look at that. I love it so much. Okay, let's go ahead and lay down the date dots because I do like to add those. And I will speed you up through this part so you don't have to watch. Okay, I've got that all in. There we go. I'll zoom out just a little bit so you can see. Try to zoom in to make it easier to see, but also it's hard to fit it all in frame. Okay, I think that's really pretty. I love these colors. I'm glad I didn't choose just the full-on green. I did choose it in one of my other planners, but for my everyday, I like this. Okay, first thing I noticed is there's a ton of holidays on here that we do not need or don't celebrate. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cover up the ones that are on the kit. However, let's see. I'm trying to decide. Maybe I should wait on those because I'm not sure if I want to put them at the bottom or up a little bit higher. So let me put the plans in and then I'll decide on those, and I'll white out the ones that we don't necessarily need. So I can go ahead and do trash days. So I'll go ahead and do that on Monday. I love that this is 2 months in a row now where we've started on the 1st. It just looks so clean. I'm gonna need another trash can. So let me grab one out of my sticker book. Okay, I didn't realize how hard it would be to come by a trash can, but I guess it makes sense because I use them in all of my kits. I don't really have a ton of leftovers, so that makes sense. Okay, we have that. And then as usual, I'm not gonna mark all of our everyday practices. I'll do that on the side over here. But at the same time, we don't actually have a ton of practices because we have a lot of things that have wound down. So that's good. Okay, let's get started here. On the 1st, so like I said, we have our normal like church and cheer practice, tumble, that kind of thing, which I'm not going to mark, but we do have cheer pictures on that day. So I am going to mark that. And we're going to use this blue color, I think. And that goes here on the 1st. Cute. Okay. Let's see here. I don't think we have anything on Monday. kind of want to white out those holidays, but I also don't want it to be kind of gross when I touch it from the white out, since I don't have anything to put over it. I think I'm going to wait just a little bit. Okay, on Tuesday we have basketball practice. So let me go ahead and write that down. Okay, we just have 2 left for the month, so I'm going to go ahead and put them both on here. And this will be the end of his like spring season. I don't know if we'll play again right now or in the fall. Yeah, I'm just not sure yet. Okay. I keep getting sidetracked with messages and things. I need to learn to put my phone on airplane mode, but also, you know, kids and stuff don't like to do that. All right. These are his last 2 basketball practices for this spring season. We'll decide if we want to do it again in the fall. He really likes basketball, so I do want to, but also our fall is awful. Like, I have a cheerleader and a son that plays football, and so fall is just very, very busy. And Miles does play soccer in the fall too, so anyway, it's a lot. Basketball practice. Also on Tuesday, I have a PTA meeting. So 12 o'clock, I have our high school PTA. And I do plan to go, but they're really heavily looking for officers for next year. And I just cannot say yes to anything else. And I feel guilty when they ask, because I don't know if it's like this where you guys are, but we have very, very little like parent support for our PTAs. It's so hard to find officers and parents who are willing to help, and not always willing. Like, sometimes they just can't, you know, like there was a period of time when I could not leave work and I could not help and come to meetings and things like that. Like, I would try to sign up when they were looking for donations or food or whatever, but like physically going, I just couldn't do it. So I completely get that. But also my kids go to schools of 900 students. So in the middle school, 900 at the high school, we should be able to find 15 parents. I don't know, it's really hard. Anyway, that's a little tangent that you guys don't need to hear. We have basketball practice. We have a meeting. I have to make sure that I can kindly say no, because I cannot spread myself any more thin. Okay. We have another PTA at a different school on Thursday. And I did tell them that I would be an officer next year if they needed me to. But like, if they could find someone else, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. So we'll see how that goes. But I will for sure go to that meeting. And let's see here. My child has a dentist appointment on this Friday. And I really wanted to get a second opinion. We're kind of out of time, aren't we? I may still do that. I don't know. I'm a little nervous because my child had gone in, my youngest, and when he did his 6-month cleaning 6 months ago, they said he had one tooth to watch. Like, it had a cavity, and they were going to watch it. He's 7, for reference. And I was like, okay, sure. Why not? You know, whatever. We came back 6 months later, and now they say he has 8 cavities, and they want to do some work on a couple of them. Several of them are baby teeth, but I don't know. It just feels like a lot, right? It feels, how did he get 7 cavities in 6 months? Like, that just doesn't make sense. He brushes and flosses every single night. Granted, it may not be the best because he is 7, but like, he does. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm sure that they aren't lying, right? Like, I'm sure he really does need work done if they say he does, but it's still a little scary. All right. That's it for Friday. And then let's see here. On Saturday, I'm going to use this. That's a lot of blue next to each other, huh? Green? I guess I'll use the green, and so we'll do my daughter has a cheer competition, and as of right now, her team is not actually competing. Her team that she coaches is competing, so she'll need to be there for that. I wish her team was competing, but as of right now, like I said, they are not. And then Miles has a basketball game. If you can hear now, it sounds like the boys have made it back here. My kids, they have been running the neighborhood playing. Now it sounds like they're back upstairs. Okay, that's it for Saturday. Sunday, we just have our usuals, cheer and church. And I'm going to hold off on the Spring Forward Daylight Savings sticker for just a minute. Okay. And then on the 9th, we are supposed to have soccer is supposed to start back up this week, but I don't have a schedule yet. And I don't remember. I could probably look back at my planner. Don't remember what days he practiced in the fall. So I'm actually going to leave that. I think I will add to my key over here in a minute. I'll add a soccer ball so that I can come back in and add those dates once I get them. I just don't have it yet. All right, the 10th, we have basketball practice. Let's see here. My son has a music program at his school. That'll be cute. Let's see here. And that is here. Cute. All right, I think that's it on Thursday. And then we come to here, and that's when the thin washi is going to come in handy because we are going out of town. Let's see here. Which one of these do I like the most? Those boys are so loud. Hopefully you guys can't hear all that. I think I'm going to use the little coffee mugs. I was just thinking because I'm going to have to use several different ones, I think. This is super cute. There we go. That's adorable. I love that. Okay. So my daughter and I are going out of town for a cheer competition. We'll be gone Friday through Monday. So how do we want to mark that? Kind of want to do the yellow, but I just used yellow right there, but that's okay, right? There we go. That's actually like a 7-hour drive for us. So I don't know. Since it's just me and her, I'll probably be picking her up from school early, and that way we can get there at a decent time because I don't want to be driving too late after dark. I've never been there before, so I'll probably do that. And let's see here. So her actual competition is on these 2 days. I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to specifically mark that because I already have stuff to mark here. And I mean, this kind of shows, right? We're going to be coming home Monday. Technically, we're driving on Friday. That's not her actual competition day. So I could scoot that over. But I have stuff to put here too. So I think it's fine. No big deal. I don't know why I'm overthinking it as usual. It'll be okay. Let's use this one. Kind of use these up some. So on the 14th, my son has his family night celebration for his basketball season. So let's put that in blue. My husband will take him to that. So I'm going to put it here. That should be super cute. And then he also has a game that day. So let's go ahead and mark. That'll be his last game. Perfect. Okay, I think that's it for Saturday. Like I said, cheer, but it's I actually had, let's see here. I don't know, I thought I had some like really cute arrows that I could kind of like point, but I think it's fine. All right, nothing on Sunday, other than my boys will probably go to church or I'll be at the cheer competition. And then let's see here. We are driving home this day. So I am just going to put like a little driving home here. Cute. And then are there car ones on here? There are. Let's do a little car. That's adorable. Okay. And on the 17th, what do we have? Let's choose a different washi strip. I'm gonna choose this one. Cute. Okay, I don't necessarily love this right here, but I think it's okay. All right, on the 17th, we have, or this whole week here that I'm marking is for Staff Appreciation Week at our schools. This is the week that we always choose for staff appreciation. And because I do all the PTA things, I've planned a lot of it, and I will need to set up and decorate and different things each day. So just want to have that marked. So that I will remember. Although I don't think I would have any reason to forget here. Okay, so we have that. All right, the only other thing is we have another PTA meeting here, and it is at 12, and that is for our middle school. So now I'm not gonna like the way that looks. But also the little car kind of put a damper on that. Does that fit okay? That's fine, I think. Okay. Cute. All right, so I need to plan ahead for all of the time for that. We have a meeting, and then we have nothing else the rest of the week, which is crazy. The rest of our month is basically empty, which is just wild to me. Okay, yeah, like I said, we'll start soccer, and that'll give us a little something that we have going on, but for the most part, that's it for actual plans. I do have, let's see here. Let's add in our washi before I get too sidetracked. Just cutting this washi to make it match the other ones in the length. This week is spring break for our kids. So let's choose the yellow here. Just gonna offset it just a little bit, and then I have these cute little spring break stickers from Sorry May. I've had these for a while, but this is really cute. All right, so my kids will be out of school all week for spring break this week. On the 22nd, I do have one thing. Let's choose the blue. I'm in the toddlers group at church. Haven't heard about the coffee schedule yet, so I don't have that date just yet. I know that she was working on it because she always asks for like the days that we're not available. So as of right now, I just know of this one for the toddlers. And then we have some stuff at church on the 29th. So I'm going to use the blue one here. We have our church dessert auction. We do this every spring to help pay for our students and like youth and stuff to go to church camps. So that's always a fun time. We have so much fun with that because it's like a huge, like it's a real auction. We have a real auctioneer. At first, I had no clue our first year there what to expect. And I was like, oh, it's like a bake sale, you know? No, I was sorely mistaken. When I first saw a cheesecake go for $150, I was like, I'm sorry, what? What? We can't afford this. But now it's one of our favorite activities every year. Everything, you know, does go quite a bit more, of course. There's a good range of things. And then like everybody just sits at the table and you share your desserts and it's like a fun fellowship. And we raise quite a bit of money to help send our kids to camp. So that's great. That's on the 29th. And then we do have another activity on the 29th. At our church. Apparently cannot spell, so that's not very neat and tidy, but we have a thing that they call a blessings bus, and it's parking at our church, and they just needed some volunteers. Basically, parents can come and get free clothes and things for their kids, whatever they might need, clothes, shoes, there's a few toys, baby items, that kind of stuff, and they can come and get what they need, and they need help with that. I think that is it as far as actual plans, which is just crazy. Like, we looked at February. Look at the difference. Wild. I love it. Okay. I know that April and May are going to be super crazy, so this is good. This is perfect. All right, let's add this in. Oh my goodness. Those boys are so... So in our neighborhood, like we live in a smaller neighborhood. I don't know, like 20-ish houses. But it's pretty secluded for the most part. Anyway, so I have a 7-year-old. The boy that lives next door is 8. And then there's another boy that lives a few houses down, kind of on a different street. But anyway, he's 8 as well. And they have so much fun together. But they are also very rambunctious together. You can't hear them jumping upstairs. All right, when did I say? Oh, spring was over here, right? Spring begins. So we'll add those in. I am going to white this out just a tad because it is showing up the top. Perfect. Because I kind of want to mark these other ones out, but maybe we'll end up with plans on those days and I can put a sticker down. Okay. The only no school days are, let's see here, spring break. However, I do have at least one day off. I'm going to have to take off on the 16th because of this trip and like driving home. I'll probably just do a half day on Friday when we leave, but I'll for sure have to take off this day, which I really need to check my vacation time because I'm about to take a week off in April for our Florida trip with my daughter. And then like May, I usually take off for field trips and things like that. So I definitely need to be checking my schedule. Okay. What else do we need here? I could go ahead. I don't usually mark these in my Daily Duo, but I'm going to go ahead and mark paydays. Why not, you know? And actually, because I have these two, I'm going to mark it kind of like it is a day off or like it's a holiday. And we're going to be excited about paydays. All right, in my job, I get paid on technically the 15th and the 30th of every month. If the 15th is on the weekend, then that's going to be on the Friday before. And the 30th happens to be a Monday. So we've got those. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make my key over here. So let's start with cheer-related items because that's our biggest thing this month is cheer. And we are almost done. Kind of. Cheer doesn't really have an off season. I don't know. I know I talk a lot about it, but I don't ever know, like, I don't know if you guys have any kids in cheer, but they do not have an off season. Like my daughter will end in May, about the middle of May, and then she starts up again, her new team and her new season, like the first week of June. So I guess they get like a 2 to 3 week break over Memorial Day and that kind of stuff, but that's it. Like you're right back into a new season. It's crazy. All right, so she practices on Sundays and Wednesdays. Potentially, it's moving like this week. She has 3 days and oh my gosh, 3 days this week she has practice. And they are talking about moving that forward until after Florida, but that has not been decided yet. She coaches on Tuesdays. She has tumble class on Sundays and Tuesdays. Okay, that's it as far as cheer, all-star cheer items. And let's add a little cross here. She does Bible study on Wednesdays before school. Okay, and then I think for FCA this month, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think this will work. I'm going to just use these little asterisk here, and I'm going to mark FCA that way, because I am actually going to mark those, because my daughter goes every Friday for her school. So let's do this, and then she's out this day, and then my son goes every other Wednesday, so he will go on the 11th, but then they're out for spring break this week, so he won't have it. Okay, that looks pretty good. I do kind of want to add, I'm trying to think, what is today? I do want to add some work meetings. I've been added to a new project, and so I'm going to just put this here to show these project meetings, just because it's fairly new and it's every other Wednesday. So I just want to make sure that I remember those, because it's at like 1 o'clock. So it's really close to my lunchtime. So I need to actually be mindful about the timing there. Okay, I'm just going to add a little icon there. And let's see here. The only other one I can think of right now would be soccer. So let's go ahead and add a soccer icon over here. And I'm going to do this green color. It matches perfectly. I'll do that for soccer practice. Okay. I think that might be it, guys. This is really cute. I like this. The washi came in really handy. I wasn't planning that when I purchased it, but I think it worked out good. This is a little difficult here, I guess. Not my favorite, but it's still cute. Technically, staff appreciation starts on Monday, but I won't be there to do that one. So I'm sure someone else will definitely have it under control. All right, guys, I think that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you liked this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And if you made it this far in the video, please leave an umbrella emoji for this super cute Rainy Reads March kit. This is adorable, and I'm so excited for this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.